Hello and welcome to my channel. I decided to record a small tutorial on creating calculator app with Angular. So this video is the first part. We will create template and learn how to use ng4 Angular directive. Here I have calculator app project I created using Angular CLI. I have video on how to do it. I leave the link to it in the description box. First, let's clean template. We will remove everything that it was added here by default. Just probably leave the title. Let's leave the title. Save it. So then we will create one more thing. We will add a new tag to our main component, which we'll call calculator. So this tag represents a new component we will create. For creating component, open terminal, and we'll be using again Angular CLI command, and we will create new component using ng, that stands for short for generate. You can use just generate or just g component and specify component name. In our case it is calculator. And just hit enter. Go back to our project and we have here a calculator component created. So we can go to terminal and using ngserve open, we'll start application. As I have already something running on port 4200, which is default, I will just specify another port. Okay. Specify this one. Don't have here anything yet. Because we need to change the selector name since we're using just calculator, or we can change here, or we can change in our component and say that this is actually calculator. And now we can see that it works. Now we will create template for our calculator. But first we also, since it's default component, it creates here some things that we don't need. We will remove it. We won't be using them. And now go to calculator component HTML template, and we will replace this part with what we'll need for our calculator. So we'll create div for specify class which we will apply styling later. We will hold our calculator. Then we will have title for calculator. Then we will have div element that will hold the screen of calculator. We'll use input to create it. It will be text and read only. We want to use just buttons for our calculator. Don't type anything on the screen. So next we will have div that will hold our buttons. But for creating buttons, we will use ng4 Angular directive, which allows to use array and for each element do something. So for that, we will go back to our calculator component and create here two arrays. One is for long buttons and one for buttons. And since we're using TypeScript, we will specify what type is it. It will be array of strings. As well as here. So for long buttons, we'll have two buttons, AC and CE. For all other buttons, it's all buttons. So 7, 8, 9. I'm creating them in the order of, like, if you imagine calculator, there is like first row 7, 8, 9, then 4, 5, 6. So since we will be creating from the top, I'll specify in this particular order. Then we will need for multiplying then we will need for subtraction. What else? We'll need 0 equal sign and plus. So add some ability to it, save it, and now go to our template, and for creating button we will use, let's first apply some class that will be long buttons, and the same just for all others. So now use ng4 directive. So it will look like this: ng4 plus writing let long button of long buttons, which is long buttons is our array we declared in component long buttons. So, and long button will hold each element of this array, and then using interpolation, which is embedding expression into marked up text, we will say put long button value here, which basically within double curly braces it will be replaced with the actual value of long button. And we will do the same for other array ng4 let button of buttons. Buttons is the second array we declared in component, and do the same thing using interpolation. We'll put button value here. Let's save and see if everything. Yeah. So we created all buttons. It doesn't look nice, so that's why I had there. We'll do some styling. To save time, I have created the style already, and I just go and copy what I have there on my desktop, because you can style it however you want. So just if you want to pause the video, and I'll do if you want to apply your own style, I'll just scroll that you can stop the video and examine this file. And let's go back. There you go. I just need one more thing here to create like a whole more container. Oh, here I misspelled word. Now it looks exactly how I expected. And I think I finished here for the first part. In the second part we will create some functionality for this calculator actually. So, but if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe, and I see you in my next video. Bye.